Hi, welcome back. We're going to do another segment with Susan. There's just so much. This is Coffee with Stacy, and this is Susan Myers, our Human Services Director in Broward County. We're at Westside Bagels this morning on Coral Ridge Drive, just north of the Sawgrass Expressway. We're going to continue to talk. There's just so much in human services. So let's list some. We talked about BARC in the previous, the Broward Addiction and Recovery Center. People hate when you use acronyms. We're just so used to using them. The Broward Addiction and Recovery Center, which we talked about. We talked about the Family Success Centers. Let's list some of the other things that Broward does. We'll go into them in more detail as we go through the coffee segments in the future.
Well, we work with the homeless population and all of the homeless emergency shelters. We have a significant amount of general fund dollars, tax dollars in that program, as well as getting dollars from the federal government. We have health care services. We fund primary care services, as well as we have the Ryan White dollars from the federal government, so we work with HIV and AIDS individuals. We have the Children's Services Board, where we fund children's behavioral health and special health care services, as well as some child care services. We have the Sexual Assault Treatment Center, where we provide services to victims of sexual assault, as well as children who may have been abused. We do that. We do child care licensing and enforcement, which means we monitor all the daycare centers to assure that our children are safe when they're in daycare. And we also provide elderly and veteran services.
I want to talk about elderly and veteran services in a little bit of detail, but I think that most people think that the list that you mentioned, I think most people think they're done by the state, or assume that they're done by the state.
Or private nonprofits. They don't realize that it's actually the county government that provides these services.
So, and I think this is something that needs to be told, is that the tax dollars are spent on so many amazing programs for those who just can't afford or are incapable for some reason of doing it themselves. And I think that's what government does best and should do best.
But let me also say that not all of our programs are income-based. Some of them are, certainly, like homeless services or family success, but the Sexual Assault Treatment Center is not an income-based program.
And it shouldn't be.
Yeah, right. So we provide services to just about the entire population.
And I think that's an even more important point, because many people think their tax dollars are going to services and they do not use those services.
Correct.
And hopefully you won't have to. But if you do, they're there.
Right.
Regardless of income.
Even our housing and utility assistance program, you really just need to show that you've had a loss of income for no reason of your own. Because we want to make sure that the people who do participate and pay their taxes have access to these services when they need them.
And as they should, and I think that's a really important point. What are you laughing at? Oh, hey Howie! You want to come on camera and say hi?
I'd love to. Give me a kiss. Mwah.
This is the guy you call if you need anything here at Westside Bagels.
Huh?
I forgot your cigar.
I'll
see you this weekend, it'll be fine.
I'm not really kidding anyway.
I know, but it's okay.
Okay.
So let's talk about elderly and veteran services.
Okay.
This place is a hoot. You really should come.
We have two significant programs in our elderly and veteran services for the elderly, and then I can talk about veteran services. The two programs are Community Care for the Elderly, and the purpose of that program is to assist seniors to age at home, age in the community, and not have to go to nursing homes. And again, this is not an income-based program, but rather a program based on the senior's functionality. And what we provide is assistance in the home if needed, assistance with heavy lifting, heavy chores, shopping, cooking. These are state dollars that we get, and we provide these services. We'll have case managers go into the home and determine what the needs are for the senior. Sometimes it could be that they need help several hours a week, and we will help subsidize an individual coming into the home to help them. It may mean that they have a care provider, and that care provider needs some respite now and then. So we would provide resources so the individual could go somewhere while the caretaker had respite.
And isn't it statistically shown that it is less expensive to keep them in the home than it is to put them in a nursing care facility?
And as county government, we have a share in the cost for people being in nursing homes. So this is definitely a tax saver for us to help people stay at home rather than go into a nursing home, because we're mandated to pay that.
And this is one of the programs I think that most Broward County residents don't know about. And if you think you need assistance, don't hesitate to call again my office, 954-357-7003. Let's talk about veteran services.
Let me just talk about one more program we have for elderly, and that is behavioral and mental health services. Substance abuse and mental health. People don't think of elderly people as having substance abuse problems or mental health issues, but they do. It's usually legal drugs, alcohol and or prescription drugs, and a problem with mismanagement. And then there's issues of depression. And so we will go in and do an assessment and provide services for that as well. So I just wanted to make sure people knew that.
Is also sliding scale? I mean,
yes.
Okay, so it's income-based?
Yes, to a degree,
okay.
But we don't turn anybody away.
Okay.
Now, veteran services, what we do there is we have our veteran services counselors all around the county, and we essentially help people get the benefits that they're entitled to from the federal government. A lot of veterans, as well as their spouses and dependents, don't know what's available, and it's a very convoluted system to have to get through, and so our job is to help them get the income, get the benefits that they rightfully deserve.
Why would Broward County do that instead of the Veterans Administration?
Well, in the state of Florida, just about every county does it. It's in statute, and it's not a requirement, but it's a very strong encouragement that counties do it.
And I think we have a very, I know we have a very large veteran population here in Broward County.
Yes, we do. And we work closely with the Veterans Administration. We have an office there. We have staff outposted there, but we also have outposted all throughout the county in all of our family success centers. And we bring in a significant amount of dollars back into the county by helping veterans get their benefits.
It's amazing. It's amazing. You do a great job, too.
Thank you.
You really do.
Our staff do a great job.
Our staff does an amazing job, and with less and less every year, we continue to serve the population here in Broward County. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
As I said, we're going to continue this conversation. Susan's been gracious enough to allow me to contact her agency heads. Don't want to violate the charter, day-to-day operations, but we're going to talk some more about each of these individual programs as we go through. Our next one here at Westside is going to be March 2nd. It would normally have been the 9th, but I think I'm going to be in Tallahassee for the first week of session. And then next week, on February 14th, we're going to be at the Tamarack Cafe Diner, and our guest is going to be Earl Walker, who's former editor of the Sun Sentinel, now a Lighthouse Point City Commissioner. So we're going to be able to talk about how he feels about being on one side of the dais for most of his life, and now the other side of the dais. We're going to talk about the state of journalism and the media in particular. So thanks for joining us. See you soon.